Hi folks, how are you doing? This is Iqbal. Some people think that Nvidia stock price is too high at this point, so they are reluctant to buy Nvidia shares. I am making this video to put up my case in front of you using both financial data and technical chart. This video may be useful to those people more who still have not bought Nvidia shares or who have bought at a very high price and currently at loss. Now, let's get started with financial data first. You see this table on your screen. This has a summary of the financial data for Nvidia for last 5 quarters. I have shown you this table in one of my previous video, but in this video, we'll take a quick look and then we'll do our analysis. So if you see this table in all of these areas, Nvidia is growing each quarter, and that's a very good sign. For this analysis, let's focus on EPS. I have these two additional columns that says year over year and quarter over quarter growth on average. So year over year means the latest quarter this year versus same quarter last year. Quarter over quarter means the latest quarter versus previous quarter. So quarter over quarter, Nvidia went up 28%, and year over year, Nvidia went up 486%. And that's a very good sign for Nvidia. In general, when we try to buy a stock, the very first step is to do some research on EPS. If EPS is growing each quarter, that tells the company is at growth stage. The next thing is to look at the future earning projection. If the future earning projection are higher than previous quarters, that's a very good sign. This tells that this is a potential stock to buy. After that, we need to decide which price range to buy that stock. For that, we need to consider forward PE. We will do EPS and the forward PE analysis for Nvidia in a bit. Now let's start with the Nvidia EPS projections. I'm showing you this table. This has EPS projected versus actual for previous quarters. You see Nvidia is growing each quarter, and the future earning projection is in this table. See, each quarter future earning projections are going up. Cell G14 tells 23% on average Q4 versus Q1 earning growth. So this means that in Q4 2024, on average, Nvidia stock price should be 23% higher than Q1 2024. So in both areas, Nvidia performed well, meaning Nvidia earnings historically growing plus earning projection is also growing. Now let's take a look forward PE to decide which price range to buy Nvidia. I have updated this table with the latest closing price for Nvidia. As of now, when I'm making this video, Nvidia is at 943. So it doesn't make a big difference. We can use this data to calculate our forward PE. And I also have this table that has forward PE historically for last 12 quarters. And I also have this table that says EPS actual versus projected for last 12 quarters and the earnings surprise for all 12 quarters. And then EPS projection for future quarters. I also calculated the median, mean, average, and maximum values for forward PE using last 6 quarters. Okay, and I also have the minimum, average, and maximum earnings surprise for last 12 quarters. So using those numbers, we can calculate NVIDIA expected price range for this quarter, minimum, average, and maximum point. So for minimum, I'm using the forward PE, that is this guy, times the minimum forward PE for last 6 quarters, and then I'm multiplying it with the earnings surprise minimum. For that, I put 0 because I don't want to put negative earnings surprise because that will mess up my calculation. Same thing for average, I'm using the same formula. So this way I calculated the minimum, average, and the maximum value for NVIDIA. So this gives minimum 664, average 855, and maximum 1181. The smart thing to do is to always buy a stock below its average price. But at this point, Nvidia is trading around 943. That is much higher than the average stock price. Now the question is, should we buy Nvidia stock at this high price? The way I look at is this. Let's suppose we buy at 943, right? There is a risk that Nvidia can go down to touch the average level, right? But at the same time, you see the earning projection, the future is growing. So even if you buy around 940 or something and Nvidia goes down like 100 points and then you're stuck, but eventually it will go up after week or after a month or so. So if you're a long-term investor, it doesn't matter much which price range you buy because eventually it will go up. But if you're a short-term buyer or the day trader, then it's not good for you to buy Nvidia at a very high price. For me, I am not a day trader. I keep the stock for some time. Now let's take a look technical chart and see what the technical charts are suggesting. So on your screen, I am showing 1 year, 1 day chart. The lowest point is 262 and the highest point is 926. Take a look from this point to the highest point. Nvidia has not made a good correction. So this tells that Nvidia should make some correction, but we do not know when that's gonna happen. Let's draw some Fibonacci levels and evaluate different correction levels on Nvidia. So I have drawn some Fibonacci levels from this lowest point to this highest point. So I chose this point because after this point, Nvidia has not made any correction. So based on the Fibonacci levels, the next level of support or next level of correction is 802. So based on 1 year, 1 day chart, Nvidia should go down to test this level anytime in the future. Now let's reduce the time frame and use 6 months chart. This is 6 months daily chart. I have drawn Fibonacci levels 0% to 100%. The next level of support or next level of correction is 803 in 6 months chart as well. So in both charts, they are suggesting that next level of correction is 802 or 803. So Nvidia should go down to test this level anytime in the future. But like I said, we do not know the timing of this correction when they're going to happen. So if I summarize financial analysis and technical charts, Nvidia earnings are growing each quarter and future earnings are also significantly higher. So Nvidia is a good stock to buy. At this point, Nvidia price is higher than its average stock price and Nvidia has not done any correction. So it may go down anytime in the future. That's the only risk. But if somebody buys and Nvidia goes down, then he or she will have to wait for some time, but eventually it should come back. Also, if we see the macroeconomic picture, Fed will start doing rate cut sometime this year, and that will boost overall market, not just Nvidia. So, no big risk there as well. That's all for today's analysis. Thanks for watching this video. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.